Hello, hello, la 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 la.
So my first question to the three of you is if you would define what transgender means to you, or a more general definition.
Transgendered means to me that it's not clear-cut the sexuality of the person, whether male or female. So for an example of a transgendered person would be someone who is, say, born with both a penis and a vagina or something like that, with having to do with genitalia, both. That'd be my best
Okay.
guess. Yeah.
I think that is a hermaphrodite. I think someone
transgender
maybe is born with male genitalia but feels like they are female.
Okay.
That'd be my guess.
Okay.
Someone that feels in their head they switch back and forth between genders, or they're not sure which gender they identify most with.
Okay.
So they go back and forth between the two.
Remember the movie in The Hangover 2?
Yes.
That's the scene that comes to mind.
What is that scene?
I think they're in like China or something like that, and I think she's a prostitute.
Okay.
I'm not sure though.
I don't think I saw that movie. I thought you were going to say something else.
It's the second one. It wasn't the first one.
So they show a male dressed as a female being a woman in this movie role.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'm not sure if transgender actually implies like a sex change. Like, this sounds like so ignorant. I'm so sorry.
It doesn't.
It's being born one sex and feeling that you really are another, and ultimately becoming that other sex.
What's your first thought or feeling when you see a transgender person?
Well, I don't know what a transgender person is, so I don't really have any thoughts or feelings when I see them.
So let's just say you saw a person who was cross-dressing in different,
that'd be kind of weird.
Weird?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, do you have any friends or family that are
that kind of a person, because they're faced with something that they're going to have to struggle with, and everyone is, but that's a big thing.
Right, right.
They face a lot of oppressions. I feel the same way. My heart goes out to them.
I really don't have a problem at all. It's their choice, and that's fine. But most likely, one of the things I would think about is they're going to have a tough time in life and in public because people are going to discriminate.
When you see a male looking like a female, you think, oh, you sort of feel sorry for them because they don't really look female. They don't really look feminine.
5 o'clock show.
Well, no, and I mean they're large, and and you think, that I really feel sorry for them. That maybe I shouldn't feel sorry for them, but I do. You kind of feel like, well, hopefully they're fitting in now and being happy, but it must be a tough life for them to be living.
I think the church puts a lot of weight on the chromosomes, and then I'm guessing encouraging the person to explore that orientation of sexuality, finding their personhood along those lines. But I in terms of particular counseling, no. Something along the lines of a group like Courage or something, this group Courage. But I wonder what Courage does with transgendered
What
people.
is Courage? I don't know.
Well, Courage is sort of like the group of the Catholic Church that's sort of like officially recognized by the bishops and everything as working with people who have a same-sex attraction and who want to remain faithful to all the teachings of the church, but are struggling with their sexuality and their homosexual orientation.
I see. Okay.
So it works to work with them pastorally, given that's sort of an issue. Yeah.
Interesting.
In general, the church has a sense that the gender you are given is
is given by God. We don't see a separation between gender and sex the way contemporary culture does, and that like your sex organs are somehow distinct from this spiritual identity, which is your gender. We don't see those as being separate. Like the church sees that like gender ought to be in line with like physicality. Like there's this union of physical and spiritual in everything that the church sees. Like we don't just have bodies, we are bodies. Like that's the teaching. So I imagine that to be consistent with that, the church would say that a sex change or something like that would not be in God's plan.
Well, with my kids, I don't want them to be like, I don't want them to like feel like, I don't want them to change if they don't want to. I don't want like,
they don't feel obligated that they have to do something. Like kids lead by example, so they're gonna be confused.
I would say yes, but I would try to make sure that it wasn't, he or she wasn't trying to, make my children become transgender.
Okay.
If they were already in their own, and that's how they were, that's one thing, but I wouldn't want to have them become by force of the babysitter transgender, if that makes sense.
I probably wouldn't. I don't think I would.
Can you explain why?
Well, I guess like everybody always wants to, like shelter their children, and it's not that it's wrong, but for kids it's definitely confusing. They can't understand everything.
Like I would really love to be the person that would say yes, I'm open and accepting of all people. I don't think I would hire them to be like around my children at such a stage when they're like, I think that would be very confusing.
Probably not.
Do you know why?
Well, I don't have children, so.
Okay, that would be step number one. But let's just say you did.
I mean, I would just be uncomfortable with that whole situation. If you're not really comfortable with who you are, I don't want you around my kids.
Okay, fair enough.
My little cardinal.
Your baby cardinal.
Right.
Enjoy, have a good weekend.
Girls will be boys and boys will be girls. It's a mixed up, muddled up, shook up world, except my Lord. La 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 la.